As the fallen human god Abaddon was defeated in 1075 after Exodus, the magics unleashed from his death led to a temporary imbalance in the flow of Tyria's magic, causing the elder dragon Primordus to stir. Primordus's minions, known as the Destroyers, flooded through the depths of Tyria, rampaging across the hollowed caverns and into the cities of those who would call the depths their home. The Destroyers aptly destroyed everything in their path, driving the underground races towards the surface, such as the Asura and the Skritt. The Skritt are small rat-like creatures who are known for both their group intelligence and their incredibly fast reproductive rates. From an outside perspective, male and female Skritt are largely indistinguishable, though female Skritt will oftentimes give birth to litters multiple times in their lives, where those litters quickly become self-sufficient and are able to live on their own. Alongside their fast birth rates, Skritt communicate mainly using a series of swift, near-ultrasonic chirps and chitters, where for most people, these sound like quick buzzes, but the Skritt genetically have exceptional hearing and are able to fully understand what other Skritt are communicating, where because of this communication style, Skritt are able to transfer a large amount of information between other Skritt in an incredibly short amount of time. Because of this, Skritt society often relies on the idea of a collective intelligence, where individually, a single Skritt is relatively dim-witted and inept, where when you add a few more Skritt to the mix, they are able to communicate with each other and their collective intelligence begins to grow. Add several more and you may get a semi-functional community, and add a few more, they may be able to solve more complex problems. Add many more, they may be able to build a large functioning city. Add many more, they could start inventing new things. Add many millions more, they could figure out how to build a nuclear warhead and flatten divinity's reach. Because of this, the Asura consider the Skritt to be one of the biggest threats in Tyria, where if Skritt are left by themselves or in small groups, they are often savages that pose a threat to adventurers and nearby communities. But should a Skritt community get out of hand, they could produce a real militaristic threat to the different Tyrian nations should that community choose to go down a path of hostility. Skritt are a naturally curious species who look to gather as much treasure as possible. They are willing to pay in blood in order to take what they can find, with their numbers being quickly replenished. Oftentimes, they work with little strategy or tactics, moving in and taking advantage of any opportunities present to them. For the most part, Skritt value useful items that they themselves cannot create, but above all, they value anything that is shiny, where the shinier the object, the more valuable it is. Skritt often put minimal amounts of effort into other parts of life. Their cities, known as scratches, are often built into large hollows or caverns, utilizing naturally formed defenses in order to protect their people. They collaborate together rocks, metal, and other materials in order to build simple structures. Skritt don't often farm and prefer to cook meat and forage any nearby fungi to sustain themselves. Oftentimes, Skritt don't have any real form of government, or within an individual colony, the Skritt who is the fastest speaker will tend to become the leader of that colony, making decisions and plans that the other Skritt will follow, or within each colony, the Skritt will group together on a regular basis in order to share important information and also plan for the future. However, there are some examples of different government structures amongst different Skritt colonies. Located in the Brisbane wildlands, many Skritt have founded the city of Skrittsburg within Mount Nashington. Because of the high density of Skritt within this region, they have been able to build a formidable community within the mountain, even crowning different Skritt to become the Skritt King, who works to unite and strengthen all the Skritt within the mountain. Further west, the Skritt located within Drytop also have a reigning queen located in Cragrock Palace who rules over all of the Skritt in this area of the world. Where there are many notable scratches across Tyria that different adventurers will come across, some with smaller communities of Skritt who prove to be hostile towards others, but some more advanced communities such as at Picaroon Scratch, where the Skritt are working together to build the SS Topsy-Turvy and to flood the cavern so the ship can sail, though not without complications. An interesting aspect of Skritt culture that scholars are trying to learn more about is the concept of Skritt religion, where for the most part it appears that the Skritt across Tyria do not follow any specific religion, instead holding a natural empathy for the world around them. However, one Skritt located in the Brisbane wildlands mentions an afterlife for the Skritt, known as the Bright Hollow, but not much is known about this place aside from this mention. Where largely, the Skritt are a race that occupy many different parts of Tyria and call many different places home, with a variety of different communities ranging from small groups of savages to more advanced groups of inventors, where should the Skritt ever form a truly large society, that society's potential could be enormous. But for the average adventurer wandering through the lands of Tyria, coming across a Skritt will either lead to discovering an annoying nuisance that would quickly be dealt with, or an unusual ally who may surprise you. And that's the story of the Skritt. I hope you enjoyed. These are a pretty popular race that serve as a common encounter throughout Guild Wars 2, but usually never play a super significant role in the story. If you like this video, consider subscribing, because only about 16% of my viewers are subscribed. I hope you are taking good care of yourselves. Have a good one, everyone.